If you would like to have a go at making one of these or just do a little make along with me, find out how to create these beautiful sunstone, sunshine inspired, copper wire wrapped earrings, then stick with me. These earrings were commissioned by a fellow maker and a very welcome challenge. While I've done wire wrapping for a really long time and I've done basic weaves, I found this one a very intriguing challenge, and I'd not tried this particular type of weave before. I was also using a thicker wire for doing the weave, so I had to really figure out how to maneuver the wire properly. So what I'm doing right now is I've just taken the copper wire, which would be my base wire and the actual frame for the earring, and I've got my weaving, the wires that I'm going to weave around, so like the frame of the weave. I've used silver plated wire for that because I wanted to be able to differentiate between the base wire and the other wires. No particular reason, just I found it quite visually quite helpful. On the side you can see the tools that we've got. We've got the flush cutters, chain nose pliers or needle nose is what I've got, round nose pliers and bail makers. So I'm starting with my 0.6mm wire, which is my weaving wire size. I've given myself a little tail and then I'm just creating a little loop, and I found this is a really nifty way of starting off a weave onto a wire. I've actually put it in around the wrong way there, so yeah, let's just switch that around. You want your tail at the right end, otherwise you're going to have to work over the top of yourself and that just look really silly. So now I'm just going to start the weave by doing 2 little loops, and I'm just going to grab some pliers just to tighten it up and make sure that we start right. That has to be one of the biggest things when it comes to wire weaving, is keeping everything aligned and keeping it nice and tight. And then I'm just going to pull that tail to one side so that I'm not getting it caught up in any of the other weaving work. So here I'm introducing the first of the kind of weaving frame wires, and I am just going to then take the wire up and round and really give the wire the direction that I want it to go in. As I've been learning weaving, I've found that that really is one of the key tips, is that you really do have to tell the wire where it's going, otherwise it will just go off on its own little jaunt wherever it feels like, which is great sometimes, but not when you're trying to do something specific. So you will have seen that I added 2 wires there and I didn't weave around the middle one, and that's because I am making sun rays, so I want to have the central the tip of the weave to really kind of stand out and stick out. So I've added that middle wire that I've not weaved around to give it that extra height. I feel like I'm being quite vulnerable in this video because I'm not an expert weaver like a lot of people are, but you know what, everybody starts somewhere, and I think it's really good to have some kind of meter of your progress, and for me that's what this is. And you will see that, you know, I'm finding my way, and you'll notice it as we go along the weave. I'm finding my way in teaching the wire exactly where I want it to go. You have to be very mindful as well that when you are wire weaving, that the more that you handle the wire, the more you're hardening it, because you're moving the molecules around, so you want to be mindful of that. And as you can see that I'm tightening the weave there, and I will be doing that all the way along. So I've done 2 around the base wire again to keep that pattern, and we're going to do the second ray here. So I'm just separating out the unrulies. I've pulled it up and behind so that it knows exactly where it's going, and then I'm just weaving it through the ends, over and down for that kind of first little flourish of ray, and then bringing it up and over the top, and then I'll bring it back up to then be kind of the second little ray after that big middle peak. And just using my thumbnail there to tighten it. I have to say that weaving is like the devil against your nails. If you want to have nice nails, don't try doing weaving with wires. I'm sure there is a trick to it. I am yet to learn it, but I've really thoroughly enjoyed the journey that I've been on, learning how to do this particular weave especially. Like, I've enjoyed learning the way that other people have done theirs and their different forms of weave, and then working out which I wanted to create this particular commission piece for my customer. Now that we've kind of done a couple of rays there, I am just going to speed things up a little bit, but so that we are all on the same page as to how we are doing these rays, is that we are doing 2 loops around the base wire, and then we are coming up and we are doing 1 loop around that goes up and around the base wire and the second weave frame wire. And then after that we are coming up and we are looping over the top of all of the weave frame wires to create that peak. And then we are coming back down and up and over the first frame wire, so the first silver wire for the little flourish, and then doing another 2 just around the base wire, and we're going to do that until we've got 7 of that pattern, so 7 sun rays as it were. So now that I've got all my rays, I'm just taking my pliers and giving them a little flatten. Just kind of helps neaten things out all the way through doing the weaving. I've been tightening it and making sure that the weave is nice and close and looking really nice and neat. And now it's time to start taking those frame wires out. 2 of these were loose enough to me to take out just with my fingers. This third one, I did require the assistance of my pliers. I had a little panic because I really wanted to be able to take it out without damaging my weave, because obviously these are now like free-standing peaks or rays, since we're making a sun. So now I'm just trimming that off each end and tightening those ends down. Always got to tighten your ends down, otherwise you might end up with little flyaways that could be a bit scratchy or catch on people's clothing, or these are earrings so it could catch on hair and generally be uncomfortable. So make sure that you always tuck your ends in, and it always looks a bit neater. So I'm just completing the weave on that end by doing the 2 rounds and then trimming that off with my flush cutters, always using the flush side so that it is a flat cut that is on the piece, and then tightening that up with my chain nose pliers. And then I'm just straightening things up and making sure that they are all in alignment and not kind of waving or going around anywhere on the base wire. And that is what it looks like when it's just nice and straight and had the frame wires pulled out. So I'm going to start making the loop because I need to give myself a little bit of air space to then loop the wire that is going to hold the bead. So the wire that I'm using to hold the bead is what I usually use for weaving, which is a 0.4 mil, which is very, very slim. I've just looped that around in between one of the flourishes and the tall spike on the very central one. I've also compared it to the earring on the opposite side because obviously we have a peak of 3, so we need to make sure that we have got them on the opposing side to the other earring so that they work well together. But please remember, when you're making earrings, they are sisters. They don't have to be exact. So I've now just popped the Sunstone bead down with both ends of the 0.4 mil going through the hole. So you need to make sure that the hole of your bead is big enough to take that. And from there, we just start bending the sun rays around the sunstone. Really, really loving this. We just have to be very gentle, take your time about it to get it right. It's a little bit fiddly, but what wire wrapping isn't? That's why we love it, right? And there we go. We've got the 2 areas at the top crisscrossing, and we've got the 2 strands of 4 mil. So I decided, looking at the other side, I needed that end to be behind the long one, and that will be what creates the bail for this one. And I'm just tightening that circle, making sure the rays are flat and not buckling at all. And we're just going to compare the 2 earrings to make sure that they are working together and matching properly. Take your time as you're working and just keep fiddling and making sure that it's right. Wire has a tendency to kind of take a trip of its own and try and do its own thing, so you do have to be very observant of this and do the little fiddly bits that you need to. So we've taken that back wire and we've just created an angle so that it goes straight up, and we're going to take the thin wires holding the bead and wrap it around that one a couple of times. Remember, the one that we've just straightened, which is the back one, is the one that's going to make your bail, so that effectively is your frame making wire for this top section. I'm just going to flatten the 4 mil and bring it round again, and we're just going to trim that off and then tighten those ends. Just press those ends in so that they are nicely tucked into the framework and they are nice and secure and won't go anywhere. At this point, it's a good idea just to double check that you've got everything working well with your other earring. Okay, so we're going to start by making the bail. I'm just really working the top there to make sure it's nice and round and that we've got the right shape going on. And then I'm taking the wire that isn't the bail making wire and wrapping it around a couple of times, so we are securing that side and then clipping off the excess and flattening that end down. So we kind of got rid of all of those flyaway wires now, and we can really focus on the final part, which is making the bail, which will attach to the ear hooks. If you're making a necklace, then it would be attaching to a chain, and you would choose which way round you want your loop to go, whether you want it front facing like we're doing with the earrings, and you would have either another bail, or you would have a jump ring, or you could do it the other way so that your chain just goes straight through. But we're making earrings, so we are going to make it so that the hooks just go straight through and we don't have to add any extra bits. So make sure that you are checking that your rays are straight, and then I'm just using my bail maker and looping it around the second step. And then once the loop has been made, I'm pulling it around and wrapping the top, and that means that I am capturing the wraps that we did with the other wire that was from the base wire, and then just neatening it up so that will just cover up the end from that one so we don't have lots of ends sticking out. I'm just straightening up that top bail bit and matching to the other earring to make sure that I have the same amount of wraps on each one, and that we have the ends cut at the back so you don't see them from the front. Just gone off camera there, but I was just doing the final wraps there, and then we just use the flush cutter to cut that excess away and tighten things up with your Needlenose pliers. And that is nearly job done. So I say nearly job done because we are going to do a little bit of detail work with the rays. Now what I'm doing is I've got my Needlenose pliers, because you need needle nose or round nose maybe just to get in there, and I'm actually just grabbing the flourishes of each ray that's next to each other and pushing them inwards to try and separate them out a little bit from the main ray. Again, take your time. These ones on the end are a little bit tricky because you don't have the other one to grip onto to try and pull it out. Straighten everything up again, because obviously every time you do anything with it, it just wants to go off and do its own thing. And then we finally come to the central one, which I'm bending one way a bit further down and then the other way further up, and it creates that kind of wiggle shape that is synonymous with sun rays, and yeah, what you always see when you see a drawing of a smiley cheeky sun is the picture that comes to my mind. So do that all the way around with each of your 7 rays until you get to the last one, and then you have completed your sun and sunstone, if you chose a sunstone, earring. And all that's left to do now is to get yourself some ear hooks. You can either make yourself some, or I have got vermeil coated sterling silver hooks there. Just open up the loop, pop it on, make sure that you've got the right side facing outwards. Do the second one, and you have got yourself a pair of beautiful sunshine earrings ready to go into this fresh new summer. Thank you so much for joining me for this one. I really hope that you enjoyed it and got some value. If you did, please consider subscribing, liking, and I'll see you in the next one.